All right. Hi, guys. I wanted to check in. Happy Friday to all of you. I wanted to let you know that your lab reports are now graded. Please use some of the feedback that I've provided for you in there to help guide how you move forward in your next lab report. And with that being said, I wanted to kind of reiterate just a couple of things because we're already closing out week 2 in our 5-week course. So with that being said, again, I kind of just want to highlight a few things of where we are in sort of the inside of the course shell, where to find things, and then of course, how to make sure that you're taking your exam and studying for your exams appropriately. So the first thing I want to point out is a couple of different ways, again, that you can reach your assignments. Your assignments are located down here. You can click simply on the assignments that are currently coming up and they'll walk you through, again, what is due. Or you can go to the modules section and you can scroll down, right? We've just finished week 1. We're almost out of week 2, right? And if you scroll down, it'll tell you the different SmartBook assignments that are due, your lab exercises that are going to be due tomorrow, and then of course your next exam, which will be due by Sunday night. So the first thing I want to point out is, again, for your lab exercises, please don't forget that I have put in for you how to write a lab report. So again, it's kind of the high level overview of the basic fundamental things that should be in each lab report. So an introduction, materials and methods section, your results section, and then a discussion, and then wrapping that up with a title page that is separate from your lab report. If you have any references that you've utilized, that should be an additional page at the bottom that is just titled references or citations. So if you're not familiar, go ahead and move through this module again for how best to write a lab report. But when it comes to physically creating your lab report this week, right, again, under week 2, tomorrow, the 23rd, you're going to have 2 different things due. The first will be your marine fisheries lab report. So if you click on this, again, it'll be at the top of how to write a lab report, but more importantly, it's going to have for you the directions of how to put this lab report together. Remember that the first thing up here at the top, this is not the directions of this particular lab report, right? This lab report is on marine fisheries. This is purely just how to write a lab report. Again, what we need to know is what is specifically due for this assignment. So if I click on the marine fisheries lab assignment, I'm going to see that I've got the directions now for this particular lab report that I have to write up, right? So you've got to go to a particular website, you've got to watch some videos, and you've got to put together some results and some output. So that's kind of the first thing I really wanted to highlight here is that, again, inside of each of these assignments is given directions. That also leads me to the next lab assignment that's due, which is environmental estrogens. Notice here, I give you the directions. Excuse me. I give you the directions in order to receive full and complete credit on this. So you need to provide your name, your date, your assignment, all on your own separate title page. And then on the following page, you're going to provide for me a 1-page double-spaced response to the environmental estrogens PDF that's right here and the subsequent questions that are nooked at the very end of this PDF. So this is going to give you kind of an overview of environmental estrogens. It's going to be a little case study you're going to read through. You're going to learn some things about it. And then at the end, there's questions that you need to answer in your 1-page response. What I do not want is for you to give me the question and then the answer. Give me the question and then the answer. I want you to use these questions as kind of the guidepost as you're thinking about this overall case study that you read. So again, it should be a 1-page response simply to kind of a 1-page mini paper with these questions as your prompts scattered throughout your 1-page response. Again, I don't want the question, the answer, the question, the answer, the question, the answer. Okay, the final thing I want to bring you to is that inside of your quizzes, or your exams, I should say, inside of McGraw-Hill, is that we have the aspect that, hold on, I want to make sure I'm not sharing anybody's personalized information on here really quick. Is that, again, when we think about these exams, these are a couple things are needed to be required. One, we need to have your camera on. You need to make sure that I'm able to see you at all times. The second, this is not an open book exam in any capacity. You are not to be utilizing notes. You're not being able to utilize your phone. There's lockdown browser, so you shouldn't be navigating away, using a separate tablet, all of those things. It should be honesty policy here. You guys should be completing this with the knowledge that you are learning while taking the modules and moving through your Learn Smart assignments. Now, I just want to reiterate, set yourself up for success. Don't give me cause for potential questioning, right? My camera is right here. It's attached to my computer, which means I'm looking at my face right now. So even though the camera is here and now I'm looking at the camera, me looking down at the screen is pretty understandable. I can see that I'm looking at the screen. My face is in, contact with looking at the view. I'm not doing this. I'm not staring over here and reading and then coming back over here and answering a question and reading over here and answering a question. Or right? That's an indication, boy, there's something below me that I'm looking at. Additionally, even looking up over here or staring for kind of long periods of time and then coming back and answering and looking back up again. I don't know what's behind you. So again, set yourself up for success. Don't give me the opportunity to question what you're doing. I get it. Sometimes we need to space out. We need to, but I can tell the difference of that. We've gone through COVID. I've given lots of virtual exams at this point. So I know kind of how this goes, so to speak. It's not accusing anybody. I don't know that. I'm just simply saying set yourself up for success. Because this is a virtual learning environment, I have to try and minimize and mitigate cheating to the best of our capability. So with that being said, then the other thing I wanted to point out to you, let me bring this back up, share my screen again, is that under your assignments, right, if I go into SmartBook assignment 1, right, I can, of course, we're seeing the behind the scenes for me, but if I go to the home screen and I go into student view here, notice this little green button of recharge. So what is the goal of your SmartBook assignments? Your SmartBook assignments are really to encourage you to read the material, right? Because we're not having a weekly lecture where we're meeting and we're sitting down and we're sort of having face-to-face discussions. I've got the PowerPoints posted for you. And really, because you purchased this online platform, it does a great job of kind of keeping you in tabs of moving through the material. So with that being said, as you're reading through the book, what your SmartBook assignment is aiming to do is propose questions to you that you should have already read about. Now, some of you may learn this the hard way. Maybe some of you took the SmartBook assignment and realized, oh, I actually needed to have some preface of information before I got into this assignment. As you're moving along, it's going to stop and ask you questions based on the material. Again, you can take a guess. You can know whether or not you got that right or wrong. You can do your 50-50. You can have a hint. But each time you're using the hint or each time you're using the different modalities of answering the questions or I just don't know, it's taking away just a small 0.1%, 0.1 point, 0.1, 0.2 points to that overall 10 points. Now, if you know all the information as you're moving along, once you hit a certain threshold of points, once you've answered a certain number of questions, you automatically get the 10 points for the assignment. This is a beautiful study tool because if you're finding, I don't really know these questions, well, then it kind of is forcing your hand to go back and read through the material and move back through the material and understand, okay, I got these questions right, but I got these questions wrong. You can always hit recharge and go back through it, even if you've completed the assignment. And you can do that on all of your SmartBook assignments for the remainder of the semester. You can go back in and restudy this material as often as you would like. And that's why the recharge feature is there. You can go back in and re-look through these things over and over and over again. Now, let me see if at the top here, I have the learning outcomes. I have a case study, right? These are your major guidepost questions for kind of the major themes you're going to move through in each chapter. Additionally, as we look at these SmartBook assignments, some of the questions that you see in the SmartBook assignments are going to come up actually in the exam. They are pooled questions that are given individually, uniquely to each student. They just come out of a pool, so each student is seeing a different version or pool of questions in the exam. But again, if you're having trouble with the exams, I challenge you, go back through and use the SmartBook assignment. If it's a study issue that we're having problems with, come and see me. Let's set up some time. Let's talk through how you're moving through the material, when you're moving through the material, right? If you're trying to cram everything in on Sunday day to take the exam by Sunday night, you're not really setting yourself up for success. Additionally, if you're not reading the material and you're just trying to charge through these assignments and get them done and you're not really taking in the information, when you go to complete the exam, it's going to seem like all foreign material to you. So I wanted to post this for you guys just as, again, a touch point. I wanted to touch base, say hi. I wanted to let you know for the most part, most of your assignments looked really great. Most of you utilized the How to Write a Lab Report, so fantastic job. And again, if you're having any issues, come and see me so that we can figure out kind of best next steps. All right, that's it. Have a great Friday, and I'll check in again next week.